You want to open this one up?
I do love opening things up.
Oh my God.
Insane.
Wow.
Welcome back to the episode.
On the microphone, George.
Welcome back to the Mancave Podcast. This is a comedy show. So if you don't like to laugh, you're going to love it here. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And I don't know what we're talking about today.
Yes,
Larry, he booted up the batteries on the cameras and the lights, and he says, "George, I got strap in or strap on. We're ready to go."
Strap in or strap on. This is the shit that I deal with every week, and then George wonders why we constantly get shadow banned. Because what are you doing?
What went wrong?
Crazy. Anyway.
It hasn't even been a minute yet.
No.
That was a crazy intro.
Literally. Anyway, George decided that we should talk based on a side conversation that we had about the Stranger Things season finale versus the Game of Thrones season finale.
I thought you said you didn't want to do this episode.
I did not say that. I said I had another one that I didn't think was worth talking about. That's what I said.
Okay.
Comprehension is a.
But yesterday we were texting, and I was like, "Well, we can talk about this," and you was like, "Sure." Is how you texted it. So then I'm like, "All right, fuck it. Then we won't do it because I'm not feeling the excitement." And then you were like, "All right, scrap it." I'm like, "Done."
I never said that. You literally, bro. George is rage baiting me like in real time. Anyway, I thought early on that the Stranger Things final season
was worse than Game of Thrones.
I thought the writing was abysmal from start to finish. You can go to any episode that we've talked about this topic, and I'm standing 10 toes on that. Probably 5 because I'm still recovering my knee surgery. But I'm standing on that. I thought this was the worst fucking writing for any final season of a major show. And then George was like, "Well, it can't be worse than Game of Thrones."
Is that how I sound to you?
That's how you sound.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, there you go. And then, obviously, if you don't know me, Game of Thrones was like a huge, huge hit for me, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people feel the same way, but obviously, the last couple episodes, a little shaky. But I am arguing with George that even as bad as the writing was, it wasn't worse than Stranger Things. And I brought up like a couple of pictures. I don't know if you remember this. Let me pull it up. Actually, they had some like a lot of bloopers in a lot of these shows. And do you remember this one?
Yeah, I did remember that. There was a water bottle and another shot.
And a Starbucks cup.
Yeah.
Yo.
They did not give a shit at the end of Game of Thrones.
I think everybody was just burnt out and ready to move on to the next project.
Which is crazy. You're making $1 million per episode. You would think that you'd be like,
were they?
Yeah.
Damn. $1 million per episode?
You think you commit to the fucking thing.
I mean, I think they tried, but it wasn't worse than Holly Wheeler, because you could mistake this for an actual cup.
Oh, with the Under Armour.
She got the YN Under Armour.
But they edited that John out. Did you see that? Like 2 days later, if you go back and watch it, they edited it out to fix it.
Well, either way, it wasn't as bad as Will being more power. Why you raise your head up like I was going to say something?
Every time you bring up Will, it's always a little like, where is he going to take it?
It wasn't as bad as Will being more powerful, essentially, than 11 after only just discovering his powers in the last 4 episodes. I'm curious to hear why you think Game of Thrones season finale was so bad.
Because imagine if they beat Vecna in episode 3 of Stranger Things and it was dark and we couldn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you built up the whole thing, right? And then the season isn't even over and you beat the big bad on the 3rd episode. It was super dark. It wasn't even that good. What's her name? Arya was the one that killed him. It wasn't even Jon Snow. You build up all this lore from 6 to 7 seasons to throw it in the trash in the final season where it's all supposed to matter.
Okay.
At least in Stranger Things, like the lore was still active. Like they didn't just start giving people different side quests that weren't developed before.
They didn't?
Other than what, Will having superpowers?
Let's talk about Robin and her discovery of her romantic relationship. How does that play into the lore? when that was like literally 2 episodes out of the last season?
Robin's relationship?
Yes. What did that have anything to do with?
Robin's whole identity and being a lesbian was established in season 3 and was a big part of season 3. Was a big conversation with her and Steve.
Okay, but what does that have to do with
and
them?
then she had a crush on her in season 4, and then in season 5 they got together.
Yeah.
So it's not like it just came out of nowhere. This has been a thing for 3 seasons.
But why is that take up so much screen? It would be like Game of Thrones focusing on Brandon Stark trying to learn how to walk.
No, it would be like Game of Thrones having Arya fuck that one guy on a random episode that she shouldn't have fucked.
Why not? That was like a random.
It was a random, like, why did we throw that in? Now that Arya's, or the character or the actress is 18, let's throw a sex scene in there.
I think that was just to solidify the fact that, like, yo, she's about business. Like, yeah, she did this
She's
thing.
about business.
Now
she gotta go fuck this guy.
Got her rocks, and now she's about to go
the most unnecessary. No, I feel like that was way more abrupt than Robin's relationship with the chick. I forget her name.
Bro.
Vicky,
was it Vicky?
I think so.
Or maybe, no, maybe, whatever. I just feel like so much of Stranger Things later on started to focus on like personal and sexual relationships.
That was always a thing.
And
Nancy in season 1 lost her virginity to Steve, and that was a big portion of season 1.
Say what you're gonna say.
The girl, what's her name? The girl that died in the first season started with a B. That was Nancy's friend.
Yeah.
That she felt guilty in season 2 because she knows that she died because it was Nancy's fault, 100%. Yeah. Forget her name.
Doesn't matter.
But the whole thing in that season was Nancy trying to get with Steve, and then she lost her virginity. The girl died because she was there fucking Steve. You have Jonathan taking a shirtless picture of Nancy. Sexuality was always a thing.
Okay.
Now, the only thing is like, you're right. Oh, why is like Will and these people's sexuality now a conversation? Well, they're old.
No,
they're as old as
I think that's your
Nancy was in season. No,
I think that's your own.
You're like, oh, why is like their relationships suddenly a thing? It's always been a thing.
No, it just the relationships between these people, like the not like the friendship aspect of it, but like the romantic aspect
has always been there.
But it took more of a priority than the actual fucking story itself. Like,
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So we got to see Henry overcome his fear of this cave in literally 30 seconds when it was such a huge deal.
What does that have to do with Robin and Vicky's relationship? I'm confused because you're jumping from one thing to another.
Because Henry is a super important character to the show, right? Like we should be able to fully understand, not just in 30 seconds, why he's afraid of this cave, what makes him tick. I feel like I still really don't even know why he was a psychopath in the first place.
What do you mean? The mind flare went into him when he was a kid after.
No. But that was after the fact. Why did he go in there and bash this dude's head open with a rock
Are we watching the show? He heard the screams, right? And he went in to check on the guy.
Yes.
The guy shot Henry.
Yeah.
And then was going to kill him. So Henry protected himself and killed the guy.
Right. Why? You're a kid. You get shot. Are you running towards the person to kill them?
If he's going to shoot me and I'm going to die or I attack him, it's fight or flight. And you're mad at Henry because he decided to fight?
Who taught this motherfucker how to kill?
Clearly, he wasn't like the Cub Scouts, right? It's all about survival. You saw the outfit he was wearing when he was out there.
Is your son learning how to kill adults?
We're getting ready to it now.
Oh my God.
All right?
But whatever. I just feel like we know less about the main character who's a supervillain and more about how Robin likes to scissor. Crazy. That's crazy.
That's a you thing.
That's crazy to me, bro.
Other than one kiss, I think there was like one scene where they were being like, making out a little bit in the hospital. Vicky and Robin never really had anything sexual.
No, they didn't. But there was just...
You're acting like there was a whole sex scene.
No, I'm just saying like there's so much screen time dedicated to like these people's sexual relations.
I don't even agree with that because in the final season, we don't even see Vicky.
Thankfully.
Do we even see what happens with that?
Actually,
no.
Well, she was taking care of Max.
I think no. Yeah, but after that, right in the last hour where they're like, oh, the 18-month time jump. Where's Vicky? I think there was like a small thing where Robin was like, oh, like old passionate love fading away. And that just, I guess, is supposed to represent that they broke up. But it wasn't that important.
So the difference, I feel like, all right, Game of Thrones, right? The last season, a lot of people had like grief about Arya being, to your point, the one who kills the Night King when it was supposed to be Jon Snow.
And it was supposed to take the 7 kingdoms to defeat him. Like, it was like, yo, you're not going to do this alone.
Yeah.
And then in episode 3 or 4 of Game of Thrones, Arya does it like in one battle.
Bro, but it was the build up to that point.
While Westeros is sitting pretty and they're like, all right, let him handle it. And they did.
Yes, they did. But I don't even think the 7 kingdoms could, like, realistically compare to Daenerys having 2 full grown fucking dragons in that fight.
Okay, but the buildup was that it was gonna, like, the 2 dragons aren't gonna be enough. Like, the buildup from that season 1 of Game of Thrones is like the White Walkers are the biggest problem, and it starts to, and it builds up more and more every season, right? Like, they're a little bit talked about in season 1, and then as the show grows, you're like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers are a problem. He has a huge army of not just like people, it's giants, it's, you know, like it's just everything on the other side of the wall. And they all beat everything that he had. That this guy has been building this army for 8 seasons, 7 seasons, and Arya, Jon Snow, and Daenerys washed them out in one episode.
So you don't feel like they did a good enough job showing how Jon.
The Battle of the Bastards was better than that.
I agree.
Why?
Because they made you actually feel like what it was like being out there on the field. The lighting
they
was
cared
better.
About
the lighting was I think the lighting by itself made such a huge fucking difference. To your point, they were fighting in the dark. And obviously a lot of people complained about that. They went
all the lights off. I'm like, do I need to put my brightness up, my gamma? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no. That I feel like that was the biggest knock, and I'm not even going to argue with that. It was the biggest knock against the show was the final battle. You couldn't even watch it. So if that takes it from an A+ to a C, I can't argue with you for that. But you don't feel like they did a good enough job throughout all the seasons showing how Jon went around trying to unify people against this one cause? You don't feel like
it didn't mean anything?
Why not?
Because what did it do?
It showed that he at least tried.
And he didn't even end up being King of the North.
Was he supposed to be?
Yes.
How? Who said that?
He was even revived by the Red Witch. Like, it was supposed to be like this whole thing, right? We find out that he's Targaryen. Like, that was a big reveal, right? And it's like, yes, he was supposed to be King of the North. Like, it was building up to where he is supposed to be on the Iron Throne. Then they fucking scrapped that, had him kill Daenerys after she went apeshit, Mad Queen, all over, what is Westeros, is it, right?
King's Landing is
King's
what you're
Landing.
talking about specifically.
Kill her, call it a day. He goes away. Bran the Broken is now the king of the 7 kingdoms. Bro, like, yeah, look, I'm not sitting here saying that Stranger Things was good. Season 5 was fucking horrible.
Okay.
All right, there's too many plot holes.
Yeah.
Right? Lucas talking about, hey, I don't believe in coincidence anymore. November 6th it means something, and then it meant nothing, right? The coming out scene for Will was longer than the fight with Vecna. Like, why is that? Right? These kids beat Vecna in 10 minutes. Where were the Demigorgons? Everybody's like, oh, the Demigorgons, they melted together to make the Mind Flare in the end. That. And they're like, well, they did it in season 3, so we shouldn't have to see it. But then also the Duffer Brothers were like, oh, they didn't, Vecna didn't summon the Demigorgons because he didn't know that there was going to be a secret attack, so he wasn't prepared. So the fucking fans are making up excuses. And also, it was a shitty season when Conformity Gate was a thing.
Yeah.
When everybody was like, it's not done. There's a secret episode coming out.
So that's what this whole Conformity Gate thing is about?
It was. They thought that
episode?
Yeah, that the whole last episode that we saw was in us in Vecna's trance. And there's another episode where everything's going to be revealed that what we saw wasn't real. No, wasn't it? The Duffer Brothers just didn't give a shit.
Yeah. But no. I think even to that point, it makes no sense how a lot of that shit played out. But at least with Game of Thrones, the Red Witch told Arya she was going to close Blue Eyes. It was foreshadowing in the earlier seasons that Arya was going to be the one who killed the Night King.
I don't like it.
Bro, okay. Whatever. I get to your point.
Like, it's okay. Like, Arya killing him, fine. The battle should have been better.
Yes,
it should have been the last fight. It should have been what ended up in King's Landing, and that King's Landing falling as a result, and them barely winning the battle and then having to pick up the rubble afterwards. Not them beating the Ice King or whatever his name is,
the White Walker,
the White Walkers, and his whole army that he's been building for seasons. Beating him in one episode, and then having Daenerys go crazy and kill everybody, and then have Jon kill her. Like, it was just like, bro, y'all didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I thought it got sloppy, like at the very end for sure. The fight, obviously, I said was poorly done, but I didn't see a reason as to why Jon had to kill Daenerys. Like, you thought she was going off the deep end. Sure. But that's supposed to be your shorty. Yeah. Instead of you trying to have a conversation with her, aside from the 3 words, don't do it, or whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah.
Your next, because then like it betrays the whole idea of who Jon was from the beginning. Like, you're supposed to be this noble, honorable dude. You yourself got shanked to death by your own people. So, and you beheaded them for that. So you turn around and do the same thing to Daenerys. That was where I thought, like, all right, even if the season was salvageable, y'all really fucking fumble it.
And then they ruined, I'm forgetting, Tyrion's brother?
Jaime.
Yeah. His whole character arc, which was also very good throughout the show.
Yes.
Undone at the end of the show, too. Because he for so many episodes, when he goes on his own, and then he starts like, okay, it's not being such a shitty person. Right. He builds a relationship with the other girl. I forget her name. Bran. And then you can see him like try to save Tyrion and all this stuff. Like, his character from season 1 throughout the show was drastically changing. Like, I loved his character arc. Yes. All for it to be undone in the last episode, to go back to his sister. Yeah. And then just die with her.
I feel like,
I'm like, no, like, this was season 1. Character. That's what he would have done. Okay. Season 6 would have been a completely different character.
What would you have liked to see him do?
Separate himself further from
completely.
Yeah.
The mother of his kids. They were, what was it, 5 of them or some 3 or 4?
But so much had happened already, right? Up until that point, that he had changed as a person. And the kids are what? How many kids did they even have at that point? Were they all dead?
I think they were all dead.
So what do you owe to her? Nothing. You are completely detached.
Crazy.
No,
that's crazy.
No. After everything that they did, after everything that he experienced outside of her, at that point, with that's why the army needed to be a bigger thing, and he needed to go and fight alongside the army, because he understands that to stay in King's Landing is completely selfish, but it didn't matter. She stayed in King's Landing, and then the White Walkers didn't end up in King's Landing. But it needed to result as, like, there was no repercussion for them staying in King's Landing.
Okay. I can see your point. I feel like it was better written the way that it was, because for what it's worth, yes, he learned a lot. He became somewhat of a better person, but he deserved to die. He didn't deserve to walk out of Game of Thrones with both hands and
kill him another way. I don't like under the rubble with.
He got exactly what he deserved. He got his ass whipped for a little bit by a dude who said he was gonna fuck his sister, right? And then he got smashed. He had died a miserable death because he was a fucking awful person. I thought that was poetic justice. If you thought it should have ended a different way, I don't know. But I do see your point, is that he was on this like upward trajectory, and then he just squandered it all for forbidden fruit. But also, like, all right, granted, Jamie, they kind of fucked his character up towards the end. I feel like at least they got like 95% of the other characters' development right. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I guess.
Okay. How many of the characters in Stranger Things do you feel like towards the end they had like pretty decent character arcs? Let's say out of the 7 that we really know, how many of them do you feel like, oh, okay, this character made sense at the end?
Which ones do you think don't? Because I don't think any of them don't make sense.
Off the bat, Mike makes no fucking sense. He's the leader, and yet at the end, he's the only one who's going to stay behind in Hawkins. What type of fucking leader is that? Everybody else is grown. Everybody else is going to go out and explore the world and learn new shit. And Mike is going to sit back
and become his dad.
Whoever the fuck that is, like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess Will would be the worst example, like, or what, how far it went the wrong way.
Why?
Because, no, like, to your point, I'm saying, like,
you said Will.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Yeah, okay.
Dick on the brain.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know how you said that with a straight face.
Because I meant it.
Wow. Holy shit.
So stupid. So dumb.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Mike didn't get a happy ending at all.
At all.
Like, Mike got fucked.
He didn't get fucked, actually.
He didn't get it. Yeah.
He didn't get nothing.
His girl's gone.
Yes.
He came up with a story that a lot of people are like, oh, maybe that's to cope, right? But he didn't have a happy ending. Yes. He was the only one to not get a happy ending.
Yes. Yeah. And then there's also, what's the guy? Steve Harrington?
Mm-hmm.
What was his character development?
What do you mean?
Like what Steve started out how he ended it, in my opinion.
Caring for people?
But just very narrow-minded.
How?
Again, everybody else is talking about how they're going to leave Hawkins. They're going to go and do this, do that.
He's a teacher. He coaches the Little League team. Like, he's giving back.
Okay, but he's also been that since the very beginning. They called him a single mom.
That happened towards the end of season 2 where he started like caring for the kids. But in season 1, people hated him.
Yeah. Maybe. Hate's a strong word.
They did. Because I was always a Steve fan. I never thought he did anything wrong in season 1.
He's a fucking
Nancy is the worst.
I agree with that.
Nancy is the worst.
I agree with that.
She lost her virginity to Steve, and then she got Barb killed.
Yes.
Right? And then only
she got her killed.
Got her killed, 100%. Got her killed. Told her to come over to fuck Steve for no reason outside of like, I need some support to do that. Left her off in the wind. Got her ass killed. Felt guilty about it in season 2.
Yeah.
Right. And the only reason she did anything that ended up exposing Hawkins' lab was because she felt bad for killing Barb or having Barb killed. Her death is 100% on Nancy.
Yeah.
And the only thing she did in season 2 was like, I feel guilty. And that was her only drive. She cheated on Steve in season 2 because she was still with Steve when she fucked Jonathan. And then started dating Jonathan in season 3, got him fired from the news report because she can't get her own head out of her own ass. Right? She's like, she needs to be right.
Yeah.
And then ends up getting both of them fired. She was no better in season 4.
In season 5.
In season 5, like, what the fuck are you doing? She's Rambo.
I was about to say she's Rambo. Bro, and that, thank you for bringing that up, because that is another fucking thing where I feel like makes absolutely zero sense. How do you have more precise shooting abilities than army trained veteran killers?
Talent.
She's a wheeler. She just got it. Oh my God.
How does Arya Stark kill the
She was training for that shit. Literally.
It's a couple seasons of it.
Yeah. Like literally from day one.
To that point, Nancy been shooting since season 1.
Okay, sure. But did we ever see her like going and learning how to do what she did in the last couple episodes? No.
Like, you mean go to like a range or some shit?
Like, no, she needed like Marine level boot camp training, learning how to fucking roll and what do they call it in Call of Duty? Is it no
the Omni movement?
Yeah. She learned how to do that shit in between rocks, and now she got a shotgun that she shoot. Yeah. Bro, come on.
It was a lot of plot armor. It was heavy plot armor with all the characters. God. Like when they were beating the Mind Flayer in the end, and they're like, we need to get up there and get some aerial coverage. What did they scale this mountain in 30 seconds?
In 30 seconds.
And then just
throw fucking Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was pretty fucking bad, George.
It was bad.
So it was worse.
But I was able to see it.
Well, if you want, you can go back and rewatch the final battle because it is much brighter.
Did they brighten it?
They did.
They did?
They did.
Maybe I'll have to do that because I remember not seeing it.
I've rewatched Game of Thrones probably
I've watched
like
it twice.
Yeah. I don't think I could ever go back. I know you did, but you had to have content for that. I don't think I could ever go back and watch Stranger Things from episode 1, knowing that it ended this way.
Yeah. The only thing is season 5, like they had those flashbacks, right? I'm like, that's a bad move because all you're telling me is how good this show used to be and how fucking bad it is now.
And on top of that, like I feel like a lot of to your point, those flashbacks, those scenes that we were seeing in Vecna's mind, I don't know if any of that shit actually made sense. Like we're seeing people's parents in the hallway at his high school where Henry
why was that there?
Going.
And we went back to that memory twice, I think, in the season. I don't know why that matters.
How old is Henry? He was like,
people are like, he went to school with Joyce and Hopper.
But he was like a 19, 20-year-old when he met 11, was he not?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I'm confused by it as well because he was also in Dr. Brenner's like lab since he was a kid after he took him away from
the Cub Scouts.
The Cub Scouts.
Where he learned how to do
No, because if you remember Victor Creel's whole story, he killed his sister and his mom and blinded Victor Creel. And Dr. Brenner took Henry from that.
Yeah.
But he was like a kid.
Yeah.
So, and then kept Henry. So why are these flashbacks of Henry being in high school a thing? Like you were in a lab since you were like 11.
I don't know. It's a lot. It's like we could sit here for an hour. And
it's a lot of inconsistencies. There's too many empty like holes in season 5 of Stranger Things. And I will give you that, like, there's too many questions, not enough answers in season 5 that they're just like, well, what do you think?
And even the answers that we got just feel like, all right, Will had the best character development out of everybody on the show. But also at the same time, why was him coming out, to your point earlier, 30 minutes of the fucking episode?
It was like 10 minutes and
it felt like an eternity. Like
you hit the fast feed.
No, bro, I'm just like dead ass. Like, okay, the whole world's about to end. You like dick?
That's cool.
Whatever. We knew.
Yeah.
Like, can we get the fuck on now?
Yeah.
It's like all like, I don't know if you ever had gay homies, but like a lot of them be like trying to hide it. I'm just like, bro, we were just waiting for you to tell us.
Right.
Like, this is not a big deal.
I would love to see what people think, whether Game of Thrones final season was worse or better than Stranger Things final season, because they were both bad seasons.
Game of Thrones it did not live up to its earlier seasons. I don't think I would say the last season was as bad as.
So you enjoyed the final season of Game of Thrones?
For what it was worth, yeah, I did. I thought I really enjoyed seeing Tyrion finally get kind of like the respect he deserved and use all of the knowledge he had gathered up to that point about learning how to lead militaries, help to be the hand of the king or the queen or whatever. Like he actually put all of his shit to good use. We also got to see. Well,
he used all that intelligence to say that Daenerys was the right person, and then she was a psycho, so he was wrong.
Well, I mean that's also consistent with who Tyrion is, right? He tries to do what's supposed to be.
So he didn't change. There was no character.
No, he changed. It was just like that. Bro, some people just,
if he's still making the same mistakes from the earlier seasons,
bro, some people but he become like a more honorable, more respectable person towards the end. And I think that's what he was really trying to get. He finally got it, but he still kept, to your point, making some of the same mistakes. Like he wasn't so focused on pussy no more, right?
Hey, after the love of your life fucks your dad,
and then tries to get you hung.
Yeah. You might not want pussy.
Cold. Yeah. Cold. Bro might just be like a what do they call him? Celibate after that point.
Yeah. That cut it off just like the others. There's a lot of dickless people in that show.
It really was. Either way, this was I felt it was.
It's the longest episode we've done in a while.
Yeah,
but and a lot of emotions. You know, Larry's opinions, wrong as they are, he's allowed to have them.
I'm sorry, George. I know that you really resonate with Will, and that was my least favorite character on the show. So I get it.
My favorite character is Steve. Always Steve. When I thought he was gonna die after falling, like he was falling off the thing, I was like, turn this off. And then he didn't die. And I was like, we can keep it on.
You so soft. You calling for death in the whole fucking episode.
Everybody else should have died.
But Steve.
But Steve. Jonathan should have died in early episodes. Nancy should have been fucking dead.
Yeah. I was gonna say earlier, I didn't want to bring it back up. I thought both of them should have died.
Yeah.
In that room.
In the cum room. Where it was just leaking that mystery
it
juices.
Looked more like glue. It looked like Elmer's glue.
That's what happens when it's packed up for a while.
Yo, thank you for coming. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.